Hey everybody, welcome to Rob and Marvy, and this video is going to be a little bit different than the other ones. Actually, it's going to be more similar to one that we did about Walk Across America, where it's going to be informational. So I'm just going to be talking. So if you're kind of looking for something else, this is probably not going to be the video to watch, but it is going to be very informative because we're going to be talking about van life and what van life is, why are we doing it, when are we going to do it, where and how. These are some of the basic questions we're going to go over, mainly because I've had quite a few friends going like, huh? You're going to do what? So I want to kind of explain it. Now, before we get started, I have two things that I want to say because as we get more subscribers, we're going to get people that questioning, well, why are you talking about it now? Because you've never been in a van, lived in a van, so why would we even be interested in it? Well, for two reasons. One, right now, we aren't living in the van, and we have a lot of friends that are just kind of curious on what it is and what we're doing. So this is the purpose of this. Now, this video. Now, for the purpose of, am I qualified to talk about it? That's up to everybody to make your own choices. I did live in a van. I lived in a van before most people that are living in vans were born. I hate to do that. Get off my lawn, like I'm an old guy. I've been doing this uphill both ways for, and all of that. So I have done it in the early 80s. I took one of those old flat nose vans, Ford vans that was rusted out. The floor was rusted out. Now, I mean, I think I spent $600 for it. Now they're collector's items and they're like $8,000 or something ridiculous. But yeah, I lived and traveled in that. I worked as a carpenter building houses for a while, and I stayed on this work site with that, and then loaded up kayaks, climbing gear, my musical instruments, and traveled around the United States climbing in Yosemite, Devil's Tower, whitewater kayaking, the Gunnison and the Gauley and parts of the Colorado and Snake River, Rogue Rivers, all of that. So I guess climbers call themselves dirt bags that live in them, but we kind of now call them just van life. But yeah, so I have a little bit of experience about that. But let's talk about what van life is. And the point is van life is different for everyone. Everybody has their own definition. Some people feel they are living van life if they buy a van and spend, $20,000 customizing it for a weekend camping and rendezvous with other people to show off their custom van. That's cool. And then other people like us plan on living full time in it. And many people have lived for years and years and years in vans. And also when I speak about van life, I'd like to talk more inclusively of people who are living in their RVs, because you have a lot of people with $500,000 60-foot diesel pusher Class A's. They're retired and they travel all over, and that's where they live their whole life for the rest of their life. People with cars, people live in cars, believe it or not. And so there are people that live this van, RV, car life and are quite happy. They do this and they're quite happy with it. Some do it out of slight necessity and some do it just for the adventure. And some people like us do it a little bit of both. What's the difference between that and being homeless? Homeless are folks that have had some pretty unfortunate situations in their life where they cannot afford to live in their own home. They want to. They would like to live in an apartment or a house, but because of situations usually out of their control, they can't. So these are people that really by choice would not want to live in a car, RV, or a van. Not what I'm talking about. Okay, we're talking about people who choose to do this and do it well and enjoy the lifestyle. The next question would be, that was what is van life? The next question would be, why? Why would we live in the van? And Bob Wells is a guy who's very well known on the internet and YouTube, and has been doing so much for people and helping with people with van life. He's done it for over 15 years. He has a YouTube channel called Cheap RV Living, or Google Bob Wells, and then you can find yourself there. And he's done such great work to help people, explaining and providing resources and stuff like that. But he describes it really perfectly, is that if you look at two things, comfort and freedom, generally, as he says, the more comfort you have, the less freedom you have. In other words, you might have in a nice house, a 60-inch TV, you've got a deep tub, bathtub, a shower, a walk-in closet, nice cars. All of these things cost money, and unless you're independently wealthy, let's see a show of hands. Okay, didn't think so. Unless you're independently wealthy, you kind of kill a lot of your freedom. You can't just take off and do things whenever you want. You have to work for the man. And even if you're self-employed, you still got the man. And people who are self-employed know what I mean. You know, there is you don't have a lot of freedom. You know, Monday through Friday or Monday through Saturday, you got to go and you got to commute to work. That's just the way it is. And so you give up a lot of your freedom in order to be able to afford a lot of these things. Van life is just the opposite. You've got a lot of freedom. You can go where you want, do what you want, stay basically as long as you want, anywhere you want within reason. But you give up your freedom. You can't just get up in a van and go into your walk-in closet and decide what you want to wear of the closet full of clothes. You can't just get up and take a hot shower whenever you want, or use the bathroom and all of these things. You can't. It's not like you turn when it's 10 degrees outside. You can't just turn the heat up in your van and always have it be warm. So you give up a lot of comfort, basic comfort, in order to have this freedom. It's a good compromise. Not perfect for everyone, but it's something that Marvy and I are interested in doing. I've done it before, and Marvy has done it too. She's pretty hardcore, and she wants to give it a try too and see how she likes it. So that's kind of what the why is all about, is that we just want the adventure. We want to try something new and different. Next question, people would say, well, when are you going? You're in Mexico now. We've been in Mexico for 5 years. We've lived in Cancun, in the middle of Mexico, in León and Guanajuato. We have lived in Puerto Vallarta. And though people say you live in paradise, yeah, but it's the same paradise every day. And for some people, they can deal with paradise every day, and it's still paradise. For us, it's like, yeah, okay, been there, done that. It's fun. We really want more of an adventure, something a little bit different, meet different people, see different things. So we decided that I am going to leave in about 5 months. Now it's almost March 1st, not quite, but it's the end of February. On August 15th, around there, I will be flying over to Arizona and Nevada, because this is where we would like to be domiciled in the United States for several reasons: no state tax, a couple other reasons. So while Marvy's here, I'll take a couple days, land there, try to find a van, and then have her and Jackson, our dog, fly out, and then we will just basically start van life. We will have an empty van that we are going to be building the bed, the closets, the storage areas, the insulation, maybe solar panels at one point. And so that's when it all is going to begin, is in August, around August 15th, give or take. Now, I don't have to go to Nevada to buy a van. If any of you out there happen to have a van that they would like to sell us, and you feel it's really reliable and you love it, and it happens to be something that we could use, ideally we're looking for a Chevy cargo van. and one that's going to have lower mileage on it, if at all possible. Our budget is around $5,000. We'd love to have a high top van or something like that. We really don't want an RV, but a good, strong van that's reliable. Windows aren't important, but cargo van. So anyway, that's kind of when we're going, is August, and our plan is going to be starting in Nevada. And the next question might be where. So if you live in a van, where do you live? I mean, my relatives are wondering and fearing maybe that just I'm going to be parked outside of their house or something on the front yard. I'm just kidding, Debbie. But no. There's most people who live in a van or an RV, or actually enjoy doing it as a lifestyle in a car, usually stay in the western United States, the Southwest and the Northwest, depending on the time of year. And mainly because this is where all the BLM land is, which is Bureau of Land Management. While there are a splattering of BML land throughout the United States, the most of it, which is government land, is in the wide open spaces of the West, and you can stay on any of that land, give or take, depending on the rules, for about 14 days at any time, and then you have to move on. You have to move at least 20 miles away as the crow flies. And so you literally have no rent to pay. You may 20 miles or say 35 miles in gas. Okay, it may cost you $10 or something like that to get there, or maybe $25. And so that's for a whole month. So as you can see, it's a lot cheaper than what you're probably paying now for rent. So BML land. Now, I'm going to, starting exactly a year from now, on March 1st, I will be walking across the United States, starting in the Northeast. And because of that, Marvy's going to be driving in the van. And so we will be van life and walking across America. And if you don't know what that is, refer to an earlier video where I talk about, answer some basic questions about walking across America. At that point, we're going to be trying to figure out where we're going to be camping, because during the day, while I'm walking to meet Marvy, maybe 20 to 30 miles a day, she will drive ahead, find a park or a campground or some resource where we can camp for the night. She'll also be taking care of all of the logistics of the food, the fuel, our dog. So she's got a lot of work. So I get the easy part. All I do is walk. But she takes care of most of the van life. So kudos to her for being so brave. And finally, to wrap everything up, let's talk about how. How can you do something like this? Whether you're interested in doing it or you just want to know how we do it. Two things, logistics and money. Logistics are basically do your homework. I don't know how many YouTube videos I have watched preparing where people are very angry and they're blaming Bob Wells because they thought they could just go out and buy an RV, a cheap old RV with their $400 Social Security money and live the same lifestyle. Not going to happen. You've got to have money saved up for an emergency in case something happens to your vehicle or an emergency for some other reason. And then you have to have something that's reliable. And you have to kind of know what you're getting into. So get into this with your eyes wide open. I've been working on this for over a year now, really studying it, understanding it, learning everything I can, YouTube videos, reading the laws in different states about anything possible, voting, Medicare, guns, hunting and fishing in different states. I've read, I don't know, at least 10 different books on these types of lifestyles. There's a new book out called, what is it called? Nomadland. And I think there's a new movie coming out in 2020 about it. But anyway, got to do a lot of research. I've read up on solar panels, electricity. I don't know anything about electricity. I was an English major, but I've learned a lot. to prepare for this. So that's how, logistically, you just study your butt off, take notebooks, make notes, make connections, and do all of that. The final one would be the moolah. How do you pay for something like this? Everybody's different. Some people have saved their whole life. They've got a really good pension or multiple. They have pension, Social Security. They have a nice RV. They've planned, and this is what they're doing. They sold their house. They have a couple $100,000 in the bank. And then there's other people that are living on $600 a month and a prayer, kind of hoping to get by. So there's a whole wide spectrum. And how do they make money? Some people just do it off their pension. A lot of people freelance. There's work camps. Amazon's a huge one. People travel all over the United States in vans if they have no other trade, and they will work in these camps. That might pay them for a couple weeks up to $3,000, $5,000, and they might do that 2 times a year or 3 times a year. It's really hard work, but it pays, and they give them a campsite, and they go and work in like Amazon over Christmas season. You can earn like $15 an hour, but it's like 12-hour shifts for like 12 weeks or something murderous like that. But that's how some people do it. For me, personally, I will have my Social Security check, which is minimal, but it gets us by in a pinch. I also have the ability to teach. I'm nomadic, a digital nomad. I can teach anywhere in the world via Skype. I have students all over the world. But I'm actually trying the other revenue, which is YouTube and all the social media, because I want to focus more on video and improving my video skills, making fun, creative videos. Obviously, this one isn't. It takes a lot of work. It takes hours and hours a day, tons of hours video editing. I have to pay monthly subscriptions for legal music. There's a lot of expenses and work. The camera equipment itself is extremely expensive, so it's not free. So we have different types of people helping out. And first of all, you don't have to. You can go on YouTube, watch the videos, enjoy them, and we appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button. That's how you can really help us out, because it's important to have for YouTube. I'm an Amazon affiliate, so if you go to our website, www.robandmarby.com, the links are all below. Anytime you go shopping at Amazon and you want to buy anything, go to our website, bookmark it, go to any one of my pages. There's an Amazon link, click on it. That takes you there, and it costs you nothing. It's the same price, but it links us back to Amazon. Amazon knows, and they pay us a small percentage as an affiliate to helping you get to their website. So that's a great way to do it. One of the best ways we do is Patreons, and we have our first Patreon person. I won't say your name because I believe in confidentiality. At some point, if you want me to, I certainly will mention you in a video. But Patreon people are people who support artists like us and who produce content that feel like, oh, you know what, I can give like $2 a month or $5 a month, or some people do $10 a month or more. But generally, the idea is if you get a lot of people giving $2 or $5 a month, which for most people is nothing, but you're really supporting us, because if 100 people do that, it really does provide enough income to continue this. So these are some of the ways that people support themselves. So as far as how do you do it, this is how you do it responsibly. I think I covered it. What, why, when, where, how. Please, if you have any questions, or if you have any comments, or if you're a van lifer, write it down below. I want to know who you are so we can hook up and connect. It's a great community of people. Otherwise, you know the drill. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit that little notify bell to let you know when our next video is out. We try to do a video every week about something, okay? And also share, okay? Thanks a lot. I appreciate it, and we'll see you again. Bye.